Let's start off with the central bank governor's comments about the reserves and the fact that they've dropped significantly over the past year, purely because we've also seen a lot of things happening in the economy front, and of course the fact that we've seen a lot of pressure for the Nigerian Naira. Is this being taken as a positive by the market, given the fact that the NAC, of course, has gained around 2% today?
I think to a large extent the central bank's move is probably something that had been expected by the market. The reality is that the currency has been getting quite a lot of support from the central bank in the last year, and that has seen significant depletions in reserve numbers. And it is obvious that what is required to solve the Naira problems isn't just artificial propping, but what we've got to see is significant changes in monetary levels. If interest rates continue to remain in the very low, below 4 or 5%, investors are going to be looking for assets that are higher yielding. The reality is that the Naira as well is closely linked with the US dollar, which means that more often than not, the direction of the US dollar provides a direction for where the Naira is heading towards as well. It's actually an aberration that whilst other currencies are gaining against the dollar, the Naira continues to weaken. But that's also as a result of the structure of the Nigerian economy, which ensures that irrespective of whatever global trends are, the Naira continues to reflect more local flows. And local flows at this point in time are looking more to a flight to return, a flight to yield, which the Nigerian economy isn't providing at the moment.
Just taking a look at one of those big movers in today's session, Oceanic Bank up 4.3%, and of course that involving a plea by former CEO Cecilia Ibru, and of course this perhaps prompting a bit of investors to buy this stock. What is your view on this, and how is this going to sort of influence the overall sentiment when it comes to the banking sector and the rescued banks?
I think sentiments are positive. I think the events of the last week give the indication that we might be getting somewhere with the reforms of the CBN governor or the CBN. The reality at the end of the day is that the market is looking for clarity, and I think that last week's judgment has provided some level of clarity as to whether the move by the central bank was right or wrong. I think that the central bank would have lost a lot of its critics with the events of last week, and that would give some clear indication that we might see resolution to some of the fraud cases against some of the other CEOs. That means for us that you can start to look at significant recoveries for some of the banks. I believe that of the $1.5 billion thereabout that was forfeited by the former CEO of Oceanic Bank, a significant portion of that would flow into the bank, which means that capitalization levels would improve significantly. So all in all, I think it's positive for the sector, and I think we saw quite a strong recovery in the banking space today. Whether that is sustainable is going to be dependent largely on the sort of numbers that we see for the third quarter. Third quarter numbers should start coming out from the second or third week of October, and that would provide some flip for the direction of the market.